Alright guys, this video now I'm going to show you the most ultimate move in all of martial arts, the rear naked choke. We're just going to cover the mechanics right now. I want you to sit like this, put one leg forward, and your thigh, okay, right here, I want you to imagine that that's the bad guy's neck. Thick neck. I think my thigh's, what's your thigh? My thigh is like, your thigh's bigger than my thigh. That's a big neck for you, man. My thigh's not as big as his, but still, that's a pretty thick neck, which is a good neck to practice on, okay? So sit like this. What I want you to do is take your arm, and we're gonna go around the bad guy's neck, just like that. Go around just like this, and grab your own bicep. Just like that. One more time. Go around here, grab your bicep, and take your hand, and there are two options here. You can take your hand and just grab your shoulder with it just like this. So it kind of, see how it kind of folds over this hand and then locks on here like this, okay? That's one way. Another way to do it, some guys do a little back fist here on the back of their head. So grab the shoulder or back fist the back of the head. So around here, grab, here, lay your head down, just like that. You don't want your head bouncing around again, okay? Down here just like that, all right? Make sure, this is a head. Make sure that when you go around the neck, your elbow is not pointing off to the side. You want your elbow to point straight out of the front of the neck, just like this, okay? So go around just like this, not like this. Elbow goes in front so that the point of the V is the front of his neck. Okay. So just like this. Around here, grab, lay your head down. All right. That's the mechanical position of the rear naked choke. The key to making it work is the squeeze. The squeeze is just the way. It's just the way this whole thing works. And so there are three things to consider, three sources of squeeze or three sources of power that we have to consider when we do the rear naked choke. The first thing is, go around here like this. You want to just kind of think of this as a deadlift, you know, where you pick the weight off the ground. I want you to kind of lift this whole V with your back as you squeeze your arm. So it's not just a bicep curl, okay? Not just a squeeze, and it's not just a tricep extension either. Some guys do this. It's not just that. It's more of a deadlift and squeeze. So you pull back. So when you go around your leg, lock this up here, okay? Deadlift here as you squeeze. That's the first part. It's kind of use your back and pull here as you squeeze your arms in. Second thing is stick your chest out like a bird as you do that, like this, okay? So I'm going to deadlift here and squeeze. At the same time, my chest is just going to go push a little bit, just a few inches. It's going to be push on the back of his neck and on his back, you see? Here, here. And it's hard to see with my leg in the way, but I'm doing this. See, my chest is sticking out like that. So deadlift, squeeze, chest out, and the third thing is head pushes his head forward. So I'm going to have this kind of head pressure pushing his head forward. When you coordinate all three of those things together, you get what I call a 3-second choke or a 5-second choke. It's the kind of choke that will pass somebody out in about 3 to 5 seconds. Okay? So it all has to be coordinated. Now, if you kind of suck at this and maybe you just kind of do it wrong, this move is so powerful, it'll still work. It'll just take about 7 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever to work. Okay? Just like this, and coordinate. Deadlift, arm squeeze, chest out, head forward. All that kind of synchronizes and just presses all at once. And when you do it right, let me show you what happens. He's on his So I'm practicing on He-Man here. I'm going to go around here. Remember, elbow, front, not sideways. Okay? Here. Just a couple of pointers if he tries to put his head down. You can be nice about this and grab his forehead and pull it back. You could be a little meaner about this and take the bone of your hand under the nose, and that's even nastier. In a real fight, you can be even nastier with punches and make him raise his head. Okay, but we're being nice now. So, arm in here, the elbows in front. I got my position. Now, I want you to coordinate all three of those pressures, those three sources of pressure at the same time. You don't go hard, go nice and light. And when you do it correctly, He-Man, if I do it correctly, will tap as soon as I apply the pressure, okay? I'm gonna go just nice and soft. 1, 2, 3. You see how as soon as I squeezed, he tapped. And the reason why is because I coordinated all three of these sources of pressure at once. Now, if I do it wrong, like maybe you do like an arm choke and not doing all that stuff I mentioned, just kind of muscling through it with my arms, it'll still work. And if you're a strong guy, it'll still work pretty quickly. But notice if I just squeeze my arms, you see, it took about 5 seconds or so. So he may have passed out in about 10 to 15 seconds. But when I do it correctly, he taps right away. I'm using no strength, just pure technique here. Chest, arms, deadlift, and head forward all at once. See, he taps right away. And that kind of choke, again, will pass someone out in just a few seconds. So, you just want to make it as good as you can. So coordinate all 3 of those things together. Now, one word of caution, one word of warning is don't choke too long, okay? That's where you get into all those troubles with, police departments who are relatively untrained and they choke a guy 30 seconds and he dies or whatever. You don't want that. It doesn't take that long. And so what I do when I have used this choke in real life, and back in my days as a bouncer, I've used this, 12 times, and it always works, this move works great, is I monitor the guy, okay? When I'm squeezing, I'm just kind of looking here and kind of feeling. You can feel when a guy's alive and when he goes to sleep. Big difference. And so as soon as I feel, the bad guy here go limp, I release the pressure. Now I may still keep this position just for the sake of control, but I'm not squeezing his neck. So I've had this happen where I hold a guy like this, I'll squeeze him, he'll pass out, okay? I'm just holding him here. I'm not squeezing, but it is a way to control him. If you do let go of someone who has passed out, you have to be very careful. Imagine for a second, we got in a fight on the sidewalk, and if I were to choke He-Man out and just let him go, his head will smack the ground pretty hard. That's an impact you don't want. That's a lot of legal issues. You better be careful. So what I do is if I feel like this guy's passed out and I want to lay him down, it's very simple. Hold his head and lay him down. Be nice and gentle to the bad guy so he doesn't get hurt. Okay, so practice this move. It is, I think, really it's the ultimate move in all of martial arts. You get this on someone, you got him. So practice it a lot. It'll really serve you well.